I am really loving the OLED now because the colors are good. The first week, this was not looking good. The OLED needs to warm up. I heard on a video that, oh, you need 200 hours before calibration, and I thought, that was gonna be something that a regular customer was not going to notice. I mean, just for perfectionists. But I noticed it. I noticed that the colors, they were looking bad. It was looking off. Um, but now it's good. This brown, it looks like dirt. The green looks like grass. The blue on the sky looks like, real blue. And I was not seeing that. Not at all. Especially, I mean, everything, the greens, everything. It was looking bad, bad, bad. I was bashing the OLED, and I was right. What I was looking was not good. It was not good. This is great now. It's a big, big difference. Out of the box, this LG C1 was trash. Trash to the point of me wanting to return the TV. And I was just keep trying and trying and trying. And I just let the TV running. So I said, okay, let me just let it run the entire day. So I was working and the TV was on with YouTube videos at 4K all the time. And then I come back and then I play the games and set up this, get up the settings and try to keep playing with it. And now finally it's showing the colors properly. So you see this green, it looks more yellow. It's a different green than this green. This green is more, more, less mature, let's say. So that's good. Like I like this green that is being illuminated by the sun. It looks realistic. The color looks realistic. So everything is looking good now. The different greens, different tones of green. The dirt has a different tone depending on the area. So it's more red. So you see over here, it's more red. That looks good. This looks very, very, very good. It looks different than this one. So now everything is looking good. Like I have no complaints with it right now as it is. But that was not the case. I was not getting these colors, not at all. And actually I did a video. I made a video saying, oh, you have to go to the NVIDIA control panel and force reference colors and make sure that you have the game mode activated. So display content going to the display is games, like force that, and that didn't do anything, to be honest. It looks like it just coincided that at that moment when I was doing that, the TV was just getting better, was getting warm up, because now I tried turning that off and it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make any difference. It's just the TV. The TV is now looking good. So, yeah. But I'm not going to apologize for bashing the TV. It was bad. Out of the box, it was absolutely horrendous. Nothing was looking right. The fire color was not looking right. The blue on the sky was like disgusting blue. The green of the grass was not green at all. It was trash. It was pallid. Like nothing was looking good, to be honest. Nothing. I was so disappointed to the point of returning the TV. So yeah, this is looking good. So what I'm using here is this is Red Dead Redemption with HDR, and I'm using black frame insertion. So these are the best settings for me. So I have the game completely maxed out, which is everything but the water physics, which is nonsense. That last setting on the water physics is just nonsense. It's too much, and you don't see any difference whatsoever. But everything else is completely maxed out. And what I'm doing to get a perfect 60 frames is I'm using NVIDIA image scaling. And I created that, the image scaling from NVIDIA creates like two sub 4K resolutions with sharpening. And that's very useful for this game, which has a terrible TAA implementation. So in that way, you can see the performance is 60 frames all the time. You see the GPU is like 86%, if you can see that on the low resolution video. It goes up to 90. Maybe during night it can drop. Well, it should drop during the night because it looks too good. But I'm not concerned about that. It looks incredible. So to get that black frame insertion working, with the proper level of brightness, is a challenge. So what you have to do, on my case, what I did is I have full color from 0. So instead of limited, I have full, and then the HDR setting on Windows is at 100%. And then on the game, I have the low brightness in 300, and the high is set to 700. So if I turn off the black frame insertion, then I will lower that 300 number. I will lower that to 170, and then the high would be 700. But because black frame insertion is gonna dim the screen, I do 700 and 300 or 350. And then on the TV, I have, you see the black frame insertion on high, and then I have on the brightness settings, you see HDR, I have the brightness 90 here. I can do 100, but I just leave it at 90. It's okay. And then HDR tone mapping, HGIG. So if you need more brightness, you can do on, but it's less accurate. It just compresses the image. HGIG is much more better. I would rather compress the image on the game with the HDR settings. So yeah, that's what I have. Let me show the HDR settings for a moment so you see what I'm talking about. You see all the settings are maxed out. So this is the custom resolution I'm using, 3264 by 1836 and 60 frames, so 60 hertz. So it's black frame insertion at 60. This game is extremely demanding, and I want to look at all the graphics settings maximum. So see, I have the peak brightness at 700. That's what this display can do. That's about the maximum. And then that's nits, I think. So then the paper white, I have to raise that to use black frame insertion. If I turn off the black frame insertion and then I use G-Sync, I would lower this paper white to 170, and it's gonna actually look absolutely amazing. Super low detail on the low brightness areas. It looks absolutely incredible. But I just adore black frame insertion because this is like a CRT. You move the camera and you can still see everything, especially when you see a train going from one side to the other. It's like, oh my goodness, the train just looks sharp, no blur. You can even read anything on the train. You can read it. It's absolutely amazing. Also, I'm using Sharpen, which for some reason, I think it's because it says image sharpening 50%, but I have Sharpen in 0 and 0 and it's making a big difference. If I turn it off, I lose I lose sharpness for some reason. I don't understand why. It thinks that this is working. It looks like this is working, image sharpening by itself. So I turn it on and I have it on 0 and 0. Also, just to show you the rest of the settings on the TV, I have the color 55 and 150. No tweaking here on the red, green, and blue because I don't have instruments to calibrate that. That's it. It looks absolutely incredible. You know, if I get this image, when I take the TV out of the box, I would be like, wow, this is absolutely incredible. But I was not getting that. It was looking bad, bad, bad. And nobody told me that. Nobody told me, oh, the OLED, you need to, use it for a week or two. At the beginning, the colors are gonna be trash. Nobody told me that. Nobody. I mean, yeah, I did, watch some videos saying you have to, do 200 hours before calibration. But I could never imagine that me as a regular customer, I was going to notice bad colors. And I was. And it was not good. But yeah, the plasma TV still looks amazing. But yeah, this is looking good. And I mean, the black frame insertion on this OLED at 60 frames, I think it looks a little bit better than the plasma because it's a higher resolution. That's why. But you cannot do lower than 60. If you do 50 Hertz, you're gonna see the flickering like crazy. Still at 60, you can see a little bit of flickering if you have a white, solid white color. But it's not a big deal. On games, you can look at the sun, for example. And yeah, if I really try to search that flickering, maybe